Good evening, ladies as well as gentlemen. Papa Boris here with some more Hearthstone Arena action. Don't mind that jangling, that's just my keys. Paladin is a class I want to catch up with a little bit, but the last run I did was a Paladin run, so we're going to grab Shaman here. It's been the longest since I've made a Shaman video. Alright, we're starting off with a very good card, Feral Spirit, not to be confused with Ancestral Spirit, which is total garbage. Next up, Lightning Bolt seems pretty easy to grab, though the other cards are also fine, and Stormforged Axe. So we got the Overload party here. I just hope I get some Unbound Elementals. As great as the Kodo is, I'm not going to pass on Lightning Storm or a second Lightning Bolt. So this is, every single card so far is an Overload card. We got a Violet Teacher to go with all those spells. So it's looking like a pretty damn good start. Now, I could take the Archmage here, which is very good with spells, and it gives me some endgame. But I'm not going to take it over a Yeti. If this were anything less than the Premier 4-drop, I would have taken the Archmage there, because I'm starting to like it a lot, but not here. Now, the Stormsuck Commando has his uses, but this deck already has a fair amount of removal. I'm going to take the Silverhand Knight, because this has been wrecking my face lately in a lot of different games. Just when someone drops us onto an empty board, when you're hoping they'll give you a little bit of breathing room, and they don't. That's just a good thing to repopulate with. Now, the Sunwalker is great, but I'm not going to take it over a Knife Juggler. That's my only 2-drop at the moment, and it goes great with the Shaman Hero ability. I could take the Dumb Monkey, but I'm not going to pass on Bloodlust. It's good to have one of those. It's good to have as many Fire Elementals as you possibly can get your human hands on. Man, so finally, a good Shaman run. I'm hoping this is going to be good. Here, I will take the Ogre over the Berserker to get my endgame rolling a little bit. Now, I could take the Cult Master for some cards, but with this curve, it doesn't look that great. I'm going to just take the Argent Squire to have a 1-drop in the deck. And Unbound Elemental is what I've been hoping for with my mountains of Overload cards. We got an Amani Berserker. Oh man, my last Shaman run just had absolutely nothing good in it. So it's great to actually have like a good Shaman deck. Now, do I take the Sword of Removal card or the Unbound Elemental? Man, honestly, with all these Overload cards, I'm going to take the Unbound Elemental because there is so much potential for that card. It's crazy. I could take the Pimp to give my spells more power, but I'm going to just grab the Violet Teacher because that's much more consistent, and it also gives good value. Second Feral Spirit? Yes, please. I do need some Taunt, perhaps. Alright, Panda. Do I have any synergy with the Panda? Actually, there's pretty much a little synergy with this Panda as is humanly possible. But I'm still going to take it to keep my curve down because I don't really want to get stuck with a super high curve. Okay, let's take a third Unbound Elemental. Alright, I'm not going to take a fourth one. We'll take actually the Stormwind Knight this time. Hex. Now, I want a Flame Tongue because I need some 2-drops, but I'm not going to pass on Hex. So we got everything. We got all of the Shaman cards that you could ever hope to have. We got them all. Take a Grunt here. Here I will take the Flame Tongue Totem. Perfect. And then maybe one more big card. Here it is. Archmage. Lovely dovely. About as good as you could possibly hope to get with this deck. I'll take an Owl to get past Taunters. I think that's better than a second Bloodlust. And we actually end with an Epic. Alright, Earth Elemental it is. It's a little bit more dangerous than Sea Giant, because once you pay for the Sea Giant, if it gets killed, it gets killed, but if you pay for the Earth Elemental and it gets killed, like by an Assassinate or by a Hex, then you're really screwed, but at the same time, for the love of God, it's a 7/8 with Taunt for 5 mana. So, it was actually pointed out to me the last time I played with Earth Elemental that I was a little bit too cautious playing it, and I'm going to try a new strategy this time. If I get it on turn 5, hell, I'm just going to play it. Maybe not against a Hunter if it's my only minion, because that would be a little bit running into Deadly Shot territory, but I will just play it when I can, because if the opponent kills it, then so be it, but man, you pretty much win the game if they can't kill it on the spot. Lewis Ning is our Hunter, and we're starting off with, you know, not the greatest hand. There's some removal here, but it only deals 2 damage. So like a 2/3 on turn 2, or even on turn 1 with a coin would pretty much ruin my day. However, if he has nothing but 2-drop, but 2 toughness creatures, I could be in good shape. Okay, he kept this card. He mulliganed all the others. We got our endgame here. This could have been an Amani Berserker, which I would have much preferred at the moment. He will hunt me down, apparently. Do you guys know he's going to hunt me down? I hope he, like, a double Arcane shots me in the face. No, but he plays a Mad Bomber. Alright. Alright, it gives me a well played because the Mad Bomber hit him more than it hit me, whatever. So, if I make the Stormforged Axe, I cannot play the Feral Spirit next turn. However, I judge that it is more important to kill that Mad Bomber than it is to be able to play this next turn. I will content myself with the Totem next turn. And hopefully, like most 2-drops you could play here, they will just die to this Axe. In fact, he either doesn't have another 2-drop or he's going to Steady Shot me. I'm guessing he has one, but just didn't want to play it in front of the Axe. because he would not have coined out the Mad Bomber otherwise, I expect. So next turn we'll be playing the Feral Spirit, which is a 3-mana thing on turn 4, which is not the greatest. However, it gets my Overload out of the way on turn 5, which is important then, so I can play the Boulder Fist Ogre on turn 6 and hope he doesn't have any deadly shots. Alright, he's got a weapon himself, which is only fair, I suppose, and I did not get anything to do, but I'm going to go for this Elemental, though. I think it's worth it because if this can survive the turn, which does not automatically die to the Eaglehorn Bow, and I can play this next turn, oh my gosh, that would be spectacular. It'd be a 3-5, and then I could even play a Forked Lightning. Now, granted, that means I'm not playing the Ogre on turn 6, but that's fine. Alright. The one trap I don't want this to be is Freezing Trap, which is why, for some strange reason, I suspect that is exactly what that trap is. Well, let's check for it. Okay, it's not Freezing Trap, so that's good. So it's probably an Explosive Trap then. Let's do this. Buff our guy a little bit. Make a Totem. And pass the turn. I messed up. You know what? After realizing it wasn't Freezing Trap, no, I didn't want to hit his face because then if it were Explosive Trap, this thing would have died before it got buffed. Okay, so I think I made the right call there. Can't play my Ogre next turn, but I did get spell damage, which is nice. This now deals 3 damage. And I've got a pretty impressive board considering it's only turn 5 for him to deal with. The reality is that this is basically a 5-mana spell, the Spirit Wolf, Feral Spirit. It just, you know, you pay it in 2 installments. But that's why it's such a mighty force to deal with, because it's really a 5-mana's value that you're putting down for 3 mana, leaving your opponent with quite the handful. Now, the counter, you know, attack to that is, of course, the fact that the following turn you're 2 mana short, which makes it harder for you to do things. Alright, he elects, well, he's thinking about whether to attack me with his bow, decides not to, which makes a certain kind of sense, because obviously, if he can get this trap to fire, then the bow will get an extra charge. And I think I'm going to do this. I'm going to kill this engine, and I'm going to go ahead and attack. If it's an Explosive Trap, it's actually not an Explosive Trap. Oh my goodness. This is a snipe, actually. Because if we attacked into the Loot Hoarder and snakes didn't pop out, we attacked his face, Freezing Trap, Explosive Trap, and Misdirection didn't pop out. That is a snipe, so he's actually waiting for me to play a creature so that it will trigger the secret and charge up his bow. He plays Multi-Shot, and it was bad luck for him because it hit my 2 totems and missed both of my wolves. Alright, well, we're going to get something sniped. That something is my Boulder Fist Ogre. The reason for that is I don't need this Fire Elemental to kill that Fairy Dragon with. I still have another tick of the Stormforged Axe. Got enough health that even without any life gain in my deck, I don't feel too bothered by it. And I want to save this Fire Elemental for something potentially more significant. We've got a Hex to remove anything it could play. So the only thing that would be bad is if he managed to clear our entire board. Let's say he hit one of these with a bow and then had another multi-shot. That would be kind of annoying because then I really wouldn't be able to do much. Alright, he's going to play Unleash the Hounds. Does he have a Timberwolf? No, but he has a Hyena. So this is actually a pretty good victory for him. What it enables him to do is cause me to use my Hex on a 2-mana creature. So a more serious threat that might come up later, I will not be able to address. Now, does he have another point of damage for this Ogre? He appears to, or else I don't know what he's doing with his life. Plays a Fairy Dragon, and what else? Oh, he doesn't actually have it. He did not have the kill for this Ogre. Okay, so let's take a moment and think. I could play the Flame Tongue, hit for 8. He would be then at 8 health, down to 5 health, but I can't finish him off. I don't have my Lightning Bolts. I could actually silence this Hyena and kill them both with Forked Lightning. Oh, that seems good. Even if it means delaying Fire Elemental. That seems extremely good. Sorry, that happened. The totem I most want is a Taunt Totem, but we can't expect to get everything that we want, so we'll just drop a Flame Tongue right there. Swing at his face. When he's in dire straits, he can't kill this with his bow because that'll be lethal, so he has to have in these 2 cards an answer for this Ogre, or else he's dead. So the Ogre's 6 normal damage plus the Fire Elemental's 3. Well, this game was a little bit scary for a moment there, but after I played the Spirit Wolves, he just didn't have an answer. Alright, Explosive Shot's pretty good. Clears out all my important stuff. This plus the Elemental's only 5 damage, so it will not quite kill him. He seems, however, to have a card that is unplayable down there. So, regrettably, I'm probably just going to play Fire Elemental now. For the face. Not the sexiest way to use Fire Elemental. It's more really just like a sort of Night Blade with better stats. But he's got 2 cards now. One of those 2 cards, he's got to deal with this Fire Elemental or he's dead. Keep in mind, I can Hex anything if it's a taunt or whatever, and then Lightning Storm to clear it away. He goes out in style. We'll give him a well played. And that is a wrap. I don't know if he's angry or just being jocular. I think he's just being jocular. He was chatty from the beginning, so I'm going to take it as a good-natured I will hunt you down. Did I do anything that was that crazy? Well, I had a silence for his hyena, but I also had a hex for it that I didn't even play, so I don't think that was a particularly remarkable game. I don't think I got particularly remarkably lucky or anything. I think he just, you know, had a weak draw or just a weak deck in general and lost fair and squibbity square. I'm going to go ahead and eat some of Mom's Best sweetened wheatfuls here. They're basically frosted mini wheats, but with like a fancy package that looks like it's all natural and stuff, but probably isn't. Gavin the Druid. Do I keep this Earthshock and hope he plays an Argent Squire or a Scarlet Crusader? No. No, I can't be right. That cannot be correct. The odds of him playing one of those 2 creatures are pretty small. It is much better for me to actually fish for my own creatures and mulligan what is ultimately a pretty weak removal spell. Earthshock is great later on if you have to silence something, obviously, but it's not that great as an early play. So my opponent's got a bit of a slow start. Nothing on turn 1 with the coin. Does he have anything on turn 2? If I can make a totem and lightning bolt it, I'll be off to a pretty nice start. Sadly, that will mean no Violet Teacher on turn 4. But I think that'd be worth it, of course. Hopefully I'll get another 3-drop to play. Alright, well this is actually good, in a way. His 2-mana spell trades with my 2-mana creature. But that's his whole turn. I still got this Argent Squire out here. And I even got an Unbound Elemental. Talk about timing for the top decks. Even as a 2-4, this is difficult to remove. And it probably will not be a 3-5 this game. I doubt I would play a Lightning Bolt next turn. I'm almost certainly going to play this Violet Teacher. But we'll see. If he plays like a Raging Worgen, I probably would actually use Lightning Bolt. Oh my god, are you goddamn kidding me? Jesus, he actually has the Scarlet Crusader. Hilarious. So do I Lightning Bolt and pop the Divine Shield to get this guy buffed up? Contending myself with a totem. Or do I play the Violet Teacher and then just kill this with my minions, causing him to have to shapeshift next turn? I'm gonna trust my instincts. I think the correct move is to Lightning Bolt here. Because now this guy doesn't die to swipe. And I can still play the Violet Teacher next turn. What he wants here is a good 4-drop. I mean, he's got to have a Yeti or Ascension here to hang on. Otherwise, he's going to fall behind pretty quickly. He did have a slow start, so he's a little bit higher than average to have something. He's a Bluegill Warrior, which I'm pretty happy about because that just kills the Taunt Totem. And he shapeshifts. So he almost basically passes on turn 4. That's really good news for me. I can kill this Bluegill Warrior and play a Violet Teacher. I'm in pretty good shape. Somehow, I'm not more ahead on cards. I don't know why that is. I guess because he hasn't played his coin yet. So he's got like basically 6 cards in the coin. I have 6 total cards. Next turn I can play one of these guys. Life's looking pretty good. So there's the coin for a 6-drop. And it is a Starfire, it seems. No! It's not a Starfire. It's a Frost Elemental. I was thinking Starfire to kill this draw, go up a card. So the 5/5 is actually pretty good for him here. Got a couple different options. I could Bloodlust and trade this guy, and that seems silly. I can actually play Stormforged Axe. I could silence my Violet Teacher. This is what I'm going to do. This might seem a little bit crazy, but we're going to make a totem. Going to play Stormforged Axe. Hit this thing. And then I'm going to silence my own Violet Teacher and finish that thing off. So the issue, of course, now is that a swipe on this will clear my board. But I think he would have used swipe before if he had it. So I think he doesn't have it. And that coin into a Frost Elemental was a pretty desperate play. So there's a good chance he doesn't have the swipe. Yeah, he doesn't have the swipe. He's got a silence, though, making this guy back into a 2/4. I'll shapeshift to kill off my owl. And now I can use the axe plus the elemental to kill off his guy, and I can also drop a Silverhand Knight onto the table, which is pretty solid when the druid does not have a swipe on hand. Fire Elemental even better, I think, than the Silver Hand Knight. Because this allows me to make good use of my 1/1 totem. Actually, no, what am I doing? Should I hit this thing with my axe? I should hit it with the axe. He doesn't have any swipes, so this is not going to die incidentally. And if he shapeshifts to kill it, well then that's great. That means he's just, 2 mana down. And I've got 6 damage coming through. In fact, I have, assuming this thing dies, I have 6 plus 2 is 8. 8 plus 6 is 14 damage, 16 damage. I almost had the lethal there. So he's going to kill off my Unbound Elemental with this Charging Druid of the Claw. Kind of interesting that he didn't play that for the taunt, but I won't complain. So what we can do here is just play this guy, make a totem, kill off this Druid of the Claw. By the way, that Stormforged Axe has been pretty stellar. Get a healing totem, and now we're threatening lethal with really just our creatures, actually. Don't even need the Bloodlust, but we've got some insurance with the Bloodlust. It's possible I can also Panda the Fire Elemental back someday and replay it for 3 damage. That was like a very expensive way of dealing with 3 extra burn damage if needed. And he concedes. Alright, so thanks for watching, folks. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please like and or subscribe. And we'll be back soon with the rest of the games in this Shaman run. I mean, I got all the goods. I wish to call this run All the Things, because I got all the things that a Shaman wants. Lightning Storm, Hex, Lightning Bolt, Fork Lightning, Earthshock, Stormforged Axe, Fire Elemental. I have everything a Shaman wants in this deck, so I better do well, or it's going to be embarrassing. So I'll see you soon with the rest of the games. Take care.